This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Nigel Travis over Zoom. Nigel, firstly, how are you?
I'm blessed. Life's good. Very busy. I'm currently at my amateur club, but yeah, very good. Life's genuinely good at the moment.
I'm glad to hear it, and I know you are about to start an amateur class, so we've got to kind of keep our eyes on the time. But let's just kind of go back to what's been a manic and hectic week or so in the boxing world. Of course, this weekend we was due to see a big fight between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. That did not go ahead due to an adverse finding in a VADA test conducted by Mr. Conor Benn. Just going back to last week, what was your initial reaction when you heard the news of that, Nigel?
Just massive disappointment. A massive disappointment for the whole sport. Just a kick in the nuts for the sport on whole. I've been on record previously by saying it that I don't think we've done ourselves any favours. We haven't covered ourselves in glory, and we continue to do it. I'm a staunch advocate of boxing saving people's lives, and that's why I'm down in Moss Side Fire Station now, doing that. I hope making a difference, trying to change the perception that people have of boxing, but also the prospects of kids in the future. So they aim for the stars. They want to become better people. They want to become professional boxers, and then hopefully make a living for themselves. And it seems that our sport is doing itself no favors by what's happened, the events that happened the weekend. It's just very sad. I'm gutted, genuinely gutted. If I'm honest, I wasn't massively enticed by the whole prospect of a very good middleweight fighting a welterweight. So guys, I wasn't that bothered about the fight at first. But then everyone, like everything, the hype gets involved, and we all start talking about it, and the gyms are buzzing about it, and everyone's got a difference of opinion. People were giving Conor Benn a chance. I didn't. I thought that Chris Eubank Jr. Was just far too good and big for him. But listen, he's been the progress in Conor Benn has been fantastic. I don't mind doffing my cap to that. But the results that have happened just stink. Absolutely carte blanche stink. And I think it's very difficult for our sport needs to have a good look at itself. It really does. I do believe that, and it's on us to do it. And I've said that in many places. It's on us to decide where we are the sport, and we need to have some serious issue with it. I think by accepting that everything else happened, just accepting it, I think we set ourselves back, and I'm sincerely hoping that something gets done this time.
No, there's obviously been huge fallout since all of that news broke last week. Since then, kind of want to get your thoughts on how VADA isn't recognised by UKAD. What's your take on that side of things?
I think the whole governance is shot to pieces in everything. So, and the word governance sends the shivers down the spine of clubs like myself. We're governed by rules, regulations, Sport England, affiliated to organisations. But I don't understand the whole process of drug cheating, because it's not in my, it's not something I've ever been involved in and I've ever known about. But there is obviously a problem with it, obviously, because so many people have been found guilty of it, and people are not talking about it. People are ignoring it. The biggest name in our sport, as of 12 months ago, was Canelo Alvarez, and he's a drug cheat. That's the honest thing, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be all those things. He's a drug cheat. Let's have it 100% right. And we can scare on the edges all we want and try and not talk about the true issues of it. But it's cheating. Now, it's just cheating. And don't get me wrong, I don't know no one in my camp, who I have known has ever taken performance enhancing drugs. I'm sure to God people have taken a drink, a supplement that could have negative effects. But and so this is, and I have thought about it because I've had people calling me out and saying, yeah, but what about Tyson Fury? He's cheated, and they're right. I believe that if it's so, Canelo Alvarez got done for a performance-enhancing drug, and he put it down to meat. Bullshit. I've said it many times, and I use that word prolifically. Bullshit. So that's him. That was his thing. Because apparently, and the people, I'm seeing things on the doctors on social media now, or past recordings, saying that it's ever present in this, and they're sort of educating people how to do it. So it might become more right sooner. So unless they clamp down on it immediately, unless they clamp down on it, then it will get worse and worse and worse. I believe that people may have messed up, and I've heard this on Dylan White. Apparently, had a drink apparently, and I don't know about it. I don't know Dylan White. I don't know what's happened there. But people who've had it, if there's absolutely no conceivable way of them getting it in without injecting the steroid or without the actual. We know. Does that make sense? I don't want to sound like because I don't know about Andi. That's the God's honest truth. I don't know how you, but no. If it's found that you can't get it in natural sources or you can't OD on vitamin C, I don't actually know what the drug is or whatever all this stuff weight stripping, but I do believe that there are people who are taking performance-enhancing drugs need to be banned for life, and that's it. Now, how do you find out that? They know. And it may be obvious that people start knocking people out cleanly when they've not knocked many people out, start knocking people out. I believe that there are camps who are entertaining it, who are part of it, so are they complicit in the problem? Of course. And as I've said prior to it, this as well. I'm not complicit in it, but I'm a hypocrite because I want to see boxing. So would I watch, if they'd have gone through the fight on Saturday night, would I watch it? Probably, because I like boxing. Boxing is my sport. It's what I've done all my life for nothing, and I love it. And I watch it when there's nothing else on. All I watch is on the television is boxing, and I would have watched it. So am I a hypocrite? Massively. You know, I've met drug cheats and Canelo Alvarez. I met him. I was like, wow, that's so. I'm a hypocrite. Am I going to let myself down? Probably because I'm in awe of his skill of what he is. But he's also a cheat. End of story. So it's soured Hall of Famer? I don't think so because he's a cheat. He's been proven to be a cheat. Maybe I missed him being a cheat, but he said it through Mexican beef. Bullshit.
Nigel, there's a video which has started circulating of a Dr. Usman Sajjad who has kind of suggested ways around testing procedures. Have you seen that video? Do you know what I'm referring to?
I do know what you're referring to because I suppose it's fighting in our boxing world. It's quite an incestuous sport. We all know what everyone. It's a very small net. We all know everybody. Everyone's sending stuff around. So it's funny and it's I say it's funny. It's not funny. It's deadly serious. But we're sending stuff around about memes about all this. So I have seen it, and it's disgusting. And it's so. Is he part of the problem? Absolutely. Is he the problem? No, he's not the only problem. There are other people who are involved in this. This is bigger than one person. If he's the guilty party, I don't know the guy. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him at all. All I'm doing, I'm finding things secondhand, like we all are now, on social media, on videos. But people need to be held to account. I've heard, and again, am I giving the kid a bit of leeway? I've heard he was brought in after the test. So this guy who's got a history apparently of it, has he? I don't know the guy. He's never been in my camp. Nothing to do with me. And would I have someone in? Would I have a doctor in my camp? Why do I need a doctor? Surely, if the doctor, if there's someone to go see their GP and see the GP, but why do you need a doctor in camp? I find that quite worrying. And apparently his CV is for testosterone. Is adding testosterone or hormonal, or I don't. And again, when I found out, so I was the same as everybody else. We were in the gym when it happened, and everyone was like, it came out. We had sparring in the gym with another gym as well, who came over to our gym, our club, and they were sparring. So we had plenty of people in the gym, and it came out. Someone said, Conor Benn said to us, no, not a chance, no. So that there was all those gas, and then it was talked about that this doctor had been part of it. So I thought, wow, and it's just shocking. It's just shocking. And yet again, we are kicking ourselves in the bollocks. We are kicking ourselves in the nuts if we don't now respond. And if we don't respond, then we're equally complicit. Not complicit is the wrong word, I suppose, but we're involved, we're accepting of it, and we really shouldn't be. I love this sport. I want this sport to prosper. I want this sport to change lives. I want this sport to give people a chance. And I believe that we're doing ourselves a massive injustice unless we hold something to account. And what's happened previously by previous champions who held in high esteem, Canelo Alvarez is the obvious subject, is giving him a 6-month ban when he's out of camp. Just not good enough. Not good enough at all. And unless we do it ourselves, unless we hold them to account, it's never gonna stop ever.
Nigel, what would be the right steps to take next then? Because there's some reports coming that, depending on obviously the procedure, next Conor could potentially face a 4-year ban. Of course, he has his own right to reply to all of this, but yeah, if that was to go ahead and he was to receive some form of a ban to that degree, is that acceptable to you?
It's certainly career defining, and it's certainly career limiting. Canelo Alvarez got a 6-month ban, but she's just not worth a tap. It's just not worth anything. And so now, listen, what I would also say that there's been a lot of negative stuff being put on social media, like that video of him, of that doctor. That's a negative thing, because people might now start thinking, oh, wait a minute. And I saw, and in fact, I didn't actually watch the thing, but I heard about the Lance Armstrong documentary, and it was basically one of the cyclists saying, everybody, it wasn't who's doping, it's who's not doping. And you only knew who wasn't doping because they weren't winning. If that's going to be the case in our sport, who's doping? So now we're talking about the people who've been caught, who've been found. They're guilty. They're guilty. So what happens to them? They get a 6-month ban. Not good enough. So it's actually encouraging people to do it. That's what I believe. So the negative stuff that's coming on about doctors saying how easy it is, people might think, you know what, I might be able to get ahead. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Is a 4-year ban enough? I'm not the penal people, but it's certainly career defining, career limiting. So it affects his future financially. It affects him negatively, and you say, well, and again, we all sit and wait with bated breath to find out the reasoning, because I've also heard the stuff about the B test. The B test is the same as the A test, surely. And saying there could be cross contamination. What, a female hormone? Again, it's a pregnancy thing. It's helping people to increase their testosterone for females, and men are using it. I don't know where to look for fucking for a performance enhancing drug. It's not about me. It's about the sport. The whole sport needs to clean itself. We are the sport, and we need to be together and enforce stuff. So, and it's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
No, I'll just going to ask just to make sure you stay a little bit more further back before you crop your head off when you lean forwards. But just to move, that's okay, Nigel. But just to kind of move forwards, because I know time is getting on now. What would it have said rather what would you have said if a fight had gone ahead about the sport because of the events that had unfolded and the following 24 to 48 hours after finding out about the test? There was obviously a push to try to keep the fight on. What would you have said in that scenario, and what image would that have portrayed for the sport?
A disgusting one. Again, we're all complicit in this evil. We're complicit in this crime. It isn't a criminal offence. That's one thing I would say. It's not a criminal offence apparently to do it, even though it definitely should be, because you're taking something with the intent of hurting somebody, and put it the other way. So put it the other way that we didn't know about it. It came out and somebody did get hurt. Usman Jr., who'd lost his brother recently, his father was apparently very, very worried about what had happened. Maybe he knew. I don't know, and again, we're all hearing things second, third, 10th hand. We don't know. No one knows the exact truth. But if it was done in September, it was done that far, early in September or maybe late August, that it's failed, and they're still considering it. Is that sort of, if somebody hurt, dies, who would have that on their conscience? Would we have watched it? Of course we watched it. We watched some tragedies in the past, but we're arguably, I say, we're part of it, even more so than the fact that we tried to get through is disgusting. End of story. Make no mistake. And again, I have mentioned it, that social media videos are wonderful things that people can be against it, and then it's their lads, so they're for it. Ridiculous. And this is business at the end of the day. They've all invested a lot of money. Tough shit about the money. This is about life. I have to go on safeguarding courses every year. I have to get the due diligence I have for the gym of looking after these kids, about making sure these kids are healthy and well. Yet they still want it, and so some people still wanted it to go ahead, even though that someone has been found guilty of cheating, using drugs to enhance their performance. Just the words have to resonate and say, "Are you mad? Are we mad that we're allowing this to happen, or that we are encouraging this to get through?" It's an own goal. It's a massive own goal. It really is, and it stinks. It stinks of money. It stinks of everything that we should be against. Our sport is about respect, about discipline, about courage. All those things, they're the backbone of our sport. Yeah, respect, you lose that. You've lost it. Courage, the fact that they want to go through it, mental. Discipline, the discipline. They know what's right and what's wrong. If they're putting this thing in this system, which they less should have done, I don't know. They know. People know. He knows. The camp must have known. Certainly, there are. It isn't just one person saying popping a pillow. I don't know, or is it? I wouldn't know, because it isn't at all in my language. I don't understand it at all, and it repulses me.
Nigel, just moving on from it, and one other topic I just wanted to touch on is Josh Taylor's announced that he's teamed up with Joe McNally now on Brighton over there. Obviously, we're waiting to see what's happening with Josh and Jack for their rematch. What do you make of that move, though?
He's great. No Joe, very well, very, very good coach. Declan, he's his partner in crime. Good team, good people. We've worked with them before. We've done a lot of work with them. A lot of sparring the local tours in Liverpool. Listen, doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. And I applaud. I applaud them as a great good Muslim. I've got no problems with them individually. I want this fight to happen like everybody, like the whole sport does. So if that brings the rematch closer, fantastic, and that's the only fight that Jack wants. Certainly, apparently Josh, certainly all camps involved will want it, and it may be closer now because of that. So if that's the case, then God willing, that carries on, and I applaud the decision. But I'm just, listen, doesn't matter who trains Josh Taylor, in my eyes, I believe that Jack-Catterall beats him. I believe they beat him last time, as did maybe 99% of the world. I believe they beat him. I believe he should be the rightful world champion, undisputed world champion. He's never going to have that again. So that's a bitter pill to swallow. Get over it. We are where we are. Hopefully that can be done imminently, and the next fight should be Jack-Catterall versus Josh Taylor.
When would you hope to have an announcement on that, boy?
Again, I'm Andy. You have to excuse me. I'm not trying to swerve it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really not. I'm in the loop. Of course, I train Jack. Me and Jamie. I'm part of the team. Simple as that. So they're in discussions, but I believe they've been in discussions for a long time. I believe that the promotional sides of it is nearly done. I believe that there's been agreements on both sides. It's all ready to go, and it's just how you announce it, how you package it, how you deliver it, where it's delivered, or dates that have been delivered, and that's all. So I believe that it's in the it's in the making, certainly. And I'd hope that it will be done, in the next 3 weeks. That there'll be announcements, genuinely, and I'm not like, I don't know, because that's above my pay grade.
That's all good, Nigel, and I'll now leave you to go and obviously catch up with your class because it's about to start in 2 minutes' time. Appreciate you jumping on at short notice as well. Thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
No problem. I wish you all the best, Andy. God bless you, sir.